Welcome to Citizens Dialogue. Today, we'll bring you the latest breaking news across Nigeria, from urgent updates to insightful analysis. We'll guide you through the stories that matters. Now, let's get started. Political alliance. Kwankwaso open up on alliance with Peter Obi. Yahaya Bello boycotts APC senatorial screening amid EFCC trial. Sowore blast regional politics, demands competence. I am Cassie Tony, and we'll be right back after this break. Stay with us. Joining us now to break down this analysis is a political analyst, Vincent Okoro. Good to have you join us, Vincent Okoro. How are you? How have you been? How is the economy telling on you?
Good morning, Casey. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm very elated, to be on to your show. And as a matter of fact, just like every other Nigerian out there, no matter how rich you are, the economy as it is today has one way or the other of bending you, of humbling you, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So, but be it as it may, we keep on trying the best we can to see that we stay afloat amidst all the challenges that the economy is bedeviling on us as it were.
Okay, talking about staying afloat, Vincent, well, let's talk about this political zoning, ticket zoning from northern region to the south. The NDC, we could recall that on the 3rd of May 2026, Peter Obi and Kwankwaso moved from the ADC to the NDC. And now the NDC has zoned the presidential ticket to the south. That's Peter Obi as the presidential candidate and then Kwankwaso as his running mate. Now the NDC
that's the Kwankwaso now.
Yes, the Kwankwaso. Now, Kwankwaso has publicly stated that he's putting national unity above personal ambition to support Peter Obi. How will the Kwankwaso movement remain loyal to a ticket where their leader is the running mate?
Okay. Their leader is not the running mate, right?
Yeah, is a support.
Is
a running mate of
the presidential aspirant.
Yes, because in 2023 he was a presidential candidate for NNPP, and he was supposed to even Peter Obi was supposed to join him on that race.
Okay.
Before Peter Obi joined Labour Party.
Yes.
Now he's
the
joining
running mate now.
Yes, running mate. So how will his movement
the Kwankwaso movement
supporters feel about this?
Okay, so first and foremost, we have politics as usual as a game of interest.
Yeah.
Now, whether you are a torchbearer or you are a follower, everybody have about their interest, and then we see our politics in Nigeria as a money-backed politics, as it were, and for the support base, there's always the issue of mobilization, and that it believed that the bigger the better, meaning that if I am aspiring for a councillorship as against aspiring for governorship, now the stake as far as support and expectation when it comes to resource mobilization and disbursement to followers will be low when I'm aspiring for position like a councillor or chairmanship as against governorship or president or being a president. Then if I am a support cast for an aspirant, in this case, Kwankwaso being a running mate to Peter Obi, as being speculated right now, what that simply means is that I will be subdued. Now, what will be expected of me, naturally, will be subdued, meaning that as a running mate, now the major moving and shaking as far as the politicking process is concerned, the campaigns, mobilizing voters and other units heading to an election for a running mate, that will be subdued. Now you see that the Kwankwaso movement, the adherent of that movement will begin to look at it that, okay, if our leader, Kwankwaso in this case, is to be the flag bearer, then there will be a lot happening around us, especially when it comes to resource mobilization, when it comes to appointment of leaders in the campaign structure, when it comes to mobilization, to campaign grounds and all the rest of them. But now that Kwankwaso is going to be is speculated to be the running mate of Peter Obi, I think the adherent of Kwankwaso movement will begin to see that, okay, it's going to be reduced activities for us. It's going to be reduced mobilization for us. It's going to be reduced opportunity for us. So, and that is basically what I think it will be.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for that analysis. Kwankwaso, in his statement, he said that before he became a governor of Kano State, he was once a deputy speaker, House of Rep speaker in Kano State, and he worked in unity with his herd, that the person in charge of him. And then when he became a two-time governor in Kano State as well, he had a deputy under him, and he worked peacefully with his deputy before handing over to him as a governor of Kano State. Now he's choosing to be a running mate with Peter Obi as a vice. That he didn't just make that choice, that he had a delegation with his people, that's the stakeholders in Kano State, and on who to choose. And they found Peter Obi worthy, that Peter Obi has all the qualities, the dreams, the vision that they need to move the country forward. Now, does Obi Kwankwaso ticket effectively lock the Northwest and the South-South senatorial district, or does it leave so much room in the middle belt that Southwest, in the middle belt and the Southwest, for the APC to explore?
Okay, now if I understand you, you are looking at how the alliance between Peter Obi and Kwankwaso is going to bring the northern region
and the southern
region. Then you are also looking at where Kwankwaso is coming from, being the northwest.
Yes.
And where Peter Obi is coming from, being the southeast in this case. Now, then if that is going to leave a vacuum for the APC to explore as far south-south, south-west, then northeast, north and north central is concerned. Now, first and foremost, a figure like Peter Obi, it's not, his ideas are nationalistic. Now, Peter Obi's support base is spread across the nation. Now, what that simply means is that whoever that is coming to this ticket or this umbrella that is of Peter Obi will automatically enjoy the same spread that Peter Obi enjoys as it speaks. Then, on the other way around, Kwankwaso is more of an organic, it's more or less a leader with organic followership, a well-organized followership, Kwankwaso in this case. Now, you see that Kwankwaso has become an household name across the landscape of the north. Now, because, for example, if Kwankwaso is coming out from the north to run for presidency or vice president as we speak right now, automatically becomes a son of that the own northern state is going to support. Now, if you juxtapose that with the fact that Peter Obi ideas are more of nationalistic profile than just about where it comes from the southeast, then you see that it becomes a win-win for both of them. Now, Kwankwaso made us to understand that, look, I'm not just taking this decision on my own. I've actually consulted stakeholders. Now, you will be thinking that maybe these stakeholders is just of the Kano or northwest extraction, but that is not the case. It's just those who are connected to him politically, as far as the whole landscape of the north is concerned. That is what I think Kwankwaso is talking about here. Now, he also mentioned the fact that he has been a deputy. He has also had others working under him, and he had not had problem. Now, also recall that the Kwankwaso that we are talking about, he was one-time Minister of Defense, meaning that he is being a subordinate does not end at just the House of Rep, and then I mean, working with a superior, it did not just end at House of Rep, but let us also be mindful of the fact that these people we are talking about are politicians. They can turn another leaf tomorrow. They can spring us surprises tomorrow, because we don't want a situation where these are just mere political rhetorics in order to buy the minds of the people. Meanwhile, behind the it is just a small screen to his real intention. Now we cannot discountenance that, So because number one, we don't even know the long-term objective of Kwankwaso being the running mate of Peter Obi, So we just hope that whatever our politicians are telling us this time, especially when it comes to NDC, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, it is what it is.
All right, thank you so much, Vincent. Just before we talk about Yaya Bello boycotting APC senatorial screening amid EFCC trial, let's look at Sowore, because Sowore's comment has connection with the NDC presidential South-South ticket zoning. Now, Sowore, in his statement, due to the fact that the NDC has zoned their presidential ticket to the South East. Now, Sowore, in his statement, he talked about reality and ideology gap. He recently stated that Nigerians should stop zoning any political office to any region in terms of competence and character, that this ticket should be, it had to do with character and competence instead of being favorism. That's almost like
favoritism,
consensorship.
Yes.
Consensorship, you single-handedly pick a candidate, but when it has to do with
competence.
Yes, you just pick someone, whether or not the person is competent or not. Consensorship, you just pick whoever you want to represent you. Now, Sowore has come out to kick against this. He said that given that Nigerians diverse and often diverse and fracture in ethnic landscape, he said that zoning shouldn't have been zoned to the particular region.
Yes,
that's supposed to be opened for a candidate to just come out. Now, how realistic is it to completely dismantle the zoning tradition ahead of 2027 election?
Okay, whether it is realistic is a big question, which I think we may not be able to answer, and possibly, or rather, the question of how realistic it is to dismantle this issue of zoning and then consensorship and then picking of candidates is something that we're supposed to start answering right from after the 2023 election, because the reality of this zoning has always been there with us. Now, for somebody like Sowore, and even myself, even every well-thinking Nigeria, we agree that you cannot continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. We want our nation to move forward, and every time we keep on talking about it is my turn, it is not my turn. So Sowore is more or less trying to make us understand that this has not been helping us. What happens to competence over the zoning arrangement that has not helped us over time? Now, if you are looking at zoning, now it more or less restricts our choices, and at the same time exclude it finds a way to exclude those who actually have what it takes, to move our nation forward. Now, he pointed it out clearly that candidacy should be about competence. We should stop this issue of zoning arrangement. Now, I don't want to believe that it's responding to Obi, or it's responding to Tinubu's candidacy, or it's responding to any candidate at that. But the fact it still remains that within that zoning arrangement, we also have the issue of competency being addressed, because within a particular zone, of course, you cannot tell me that a zone, for example, such as the entire South, comprising of 5 states, then there is no single individual that is as competent as any other individual in other zone. So that actually pour a little water, to his argument. Because if you also want to look at it, if you are throwing the question of competence isolated from zoning, we are going to have challenge, examining all the people that will come out to tell you that they are actually competent to do a particular job, and then we are going to be having delay. We may be having delay in arriving at a particular point, as far as choosing who is capable and who is not capable is concerned. So to me, the argument is both on the right and then a little bit on the left. But what Nigeria needs is capable leadership, whether it's going to arrive by zoning or it's going to arrive on pure merit or pure competence. It's a question of either of them giving us the leadership, the kind of leadership that we are yearning for in this country.
All right. So if candidates like if figures like Sowore refuse to participate in zoning conversation, how does this weaken the chances of a united front against the ruling party come 2027?
Okay. Now you see that that is why I said his argument is on the left in a way, because number one, zoning have a way of bringing parties together. Zoning have a way of making coalitions work. Zoning have a way of building structures that will actually help that person who we can refer to as being competent from that particular zone. It makes it even easier. Now, just imagine that every person out there who feels is competent and capable of leading this nation to the promised land that we are all looking for. All of them comes out, and then it's about assessing their competence alone. It's going to give us a lot of challenges. So that is why I said that it's a little to the right and then actually much to the left, because much to the right, because when you look at the whole thing, whether by consensus, whether by zoning, whether by picking who is competent, the question remains: are this person going to give us what we need as a nation?
All right, thank you so much. Still in politics, and we have to look at Yaya Bello, former Kogi State governor, who is currently in EFCC trial. Now, talking about zoning, talking about consensusship, just like consensus, talking about consensusship, just like Sowore actually talked about that. Choosing a leader should be about competence and not favorism. Now, the APC has chosen Yaya Bello as APC consensus candidate for Kogi State Senatorial District, for someone who is under EFCC custody, that is currently undergoing trials
upon trial.
How sustainable is this consensus title as the 2027 race heat up? Because just like I said, this is consensusship, and the APC has picked him, single-handedly picked him as a senatorial candidate to run against Natasha Akpote in Kogi State.
Okay, now we are talking about a man who is in trial with EFCC. I think with figures over 80 billion naira of Kogi State taxpayers' money being mentioned. This a man who once presided over the affairs of Kogi State, and one of the feeders that keep on coming from that state is that he refused or failed woefully as far providing the basic needs for which he was, as far as meeting the expectation of why the people of Kogi State elected him is concerned. This is a man that there were rumors or even facts keep on surfacing that he was not even paying civil servants that are helping him to run that particular state. And now also there were indications that he even strangulated democratic tenets as far and processes as far election in a Kogi State is concerned. Now, he is being rumored to be running for senatorial seat,
yeah.
and against Natasha Poti.
Yeah.
You know,
who is
now,
in PDP.
Yes. Now, that is one of the things Sowore is more or less talking about. Now, the issue of it is my turn, the issue of this man is more powerful than the other, the issue of this one will share money more than the other, and all the rest of them. So these are the things that Sowore is actually drawing our attention to.
Yeah.
That please, we should be looking at competence. Now, how can a senatorial district be projecting a man that still have serious case to answer, not just a case, but a very serious one, because 80 billion naira, how much is the budget of Kogi State? That is more or less the entire budget that is meant to take care of the entire citizens of Kogi State within a space of 1 year or even 2 years, taken away by a single person. Now, that alone is enough for the people of Kogi State to say, no, we cannot sit down and allow this to fly as far as candidacy is concerned. This is enough for the people of Kogi State to actually listen to the likes of Sowore that, look, competency also demands that you are clean, and therefore the person of Yaya Bello, leaves much to be desired by the people of Kogi State.
All right, thank you so much. In your analysis, you made mention of the 80.2 billion naira that he is being accused of looting in
from Kogi State
Treasury. And it's not just the 80.2 billion naira. There's also an allegation of 110.4 billion naira that is currently under the FCT High Court to be precise. Accounted for. Now,
by the same man.
Yeah, exactly. Can the APC actually ethnically justify his candidacy?
Okay, ethically now the APC is one party that over time seems to keep on, bringing itself in what some of us can say in a bad light, because you have a governor, that you have an individual that by and large provided what we can refer to as bad leadership to his people. Now, we are talking about 80 billion. We are not even done talking about 80 billion. We are talking about over 100 billion
110.4
billion worth of charges hanging on the neck of this young man. And you still talk about this man as if it's an angel. So to me, that is very, very unfortunate. And then it's a low point as far the party APC is concerned, and the earlier they sit up, as far as trying to do the right thing, trying to make sure their members do the right thing, and also more importantly, those members who have questions hanging over their head should make sure those members take the back seat instead of to keep on projecting them against the will of the people.
All right, thank you. He boycotted this court ruling. He boycotted this court's trial he boycotted the APC senatorial screening amid his trial in EFCC custody. This same thing also happened I want to just refresh our memory, because it seems that the APC are being biased here, because we could see Nasiri el-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State,
yes,
that is under the EFCC custody. He was there, he lost his mother, and he's being charged for so many counts of money laundering, of tapping into Ministry of Information, yes,
and Ministry of Defense.
Exactly. So many counts that has been allegedly against him. And we also see Yaya Bello, who is also in the EFCC's custody, that is supposed to be undergoing trial, and the APC has picked him as a candidate. What does this have to say about Nigerian politics? Are they playing bias here? Because it seems like the ruling party are focusing all their attention on their opponents. Because it's only their opponents that they have so much interest on scrutinizing.
As far as the screening is concerned.
Exactly. Now, this Yaya Bello, if he was in another party, in an opposition party, will won't he have been in the custody till now?
Okay.
Because he seems to be working very free without, because even as this alleged money laundering is concerned, the EFCC and everyone involved will sweep it under the carpet as usual, because the APC is a party that they said join so that your sins will be forgiven.
Okay, so Yaya Bello is working free, you know, despite all the allegations that is hanging over his neck. And then for the fact that he has been nominated, or he has picked up nomination form to be his senatorial district flag bearer heading to the 2027 election, you know, 6 months much about the party APC. Now, talking about the screening, Yaya Bello is rumored to have not even attended the screening at all. And then what we are hearing is that whether he attend the screening or not, is a candidate, and is being championed by his party. So to me, that is another very unfortunate incident that is plaguing the people of Kogi State right now. If you go to the media, you will see where they are actually lamenting that, look, this man should undergo screening so that certain questions that are very relevant as far as candidacy is being fit to man their affairs, to represent them in the Senate is concerned, so that those things, some of those questions can be asked for possible disqualification. If people are actually expressing their discontentment about this man heading to this election, and then despite all this noise, the party APC, his party, are looking aloft without even trying to pay attention to say, okay, actually the people whom this man is projecting himself to represent, they're actually, you know, kicking against him because of the various allegations. So once more, that says a lot about some of our political party, APC in this case. And the earlier they look inward, the better, because you cannot continue to beat a child and you expect that that child will never going to cry. And you expect that that child will never going to fight back. You cannot push somebody to the wall and you expect that the person will break the wall and pass through. A time will come, the people will have no option than to occupy the street, and by then we should not be seeing the instrument of the state being used against the people. We should not be seeing people being arrested and detained unjustly. We will not be seeing our mothers in that state being tear-gassed. Because what APC as a party is calling for right now in Edo State, as far as senatorial district is concerned, it's more or less an anarchy. And I believe that the people of Kogi State are going to resist it. And right now they are actually showing that this is something that is not acceptable to them. And I want to encourage them to stand and make sure that the candidacy of Yaya Bello does not come to light until it come clean of the allegation that is hanging over his neck with the EFCC.
All right, talking about the allegation hanging over his neck, you know, he was supposed to be in court for his hearing on the 6th and 7th of May 2026, but it was adjourned to 12th of June. Is there a possibility of him showing up, considering the fact that his party has picked him as a candidate for Kogi State Senatorial District, just to clear the doubt of his people? Is there a possibility of him showing up?
Well, you know, our politics, our judicial system have a way of giving immunity to public office holders, even before they become public office holders. I mean, even before they ascend those positions. Now, I want to believe that our judiciary are not planning to toe the same path as far Yaya Bello or even any other politician is concerned heading to 2027, because these are the kind of actions and processes that have never helped us. A man is alleged to have stolen from his people, landed money, acquired properties that even his 10th generation to come will not be able to finish consuming, as against the progress of his people. And then you are giving him soft landing. Instead of you to issue bench warrant for this man to be brought to court, you are hearing that this man is moving from one political meeting to another, moving from is in Lagos today, is in Dubai the next day. You are hearing all of this. The lawyers of EFCC and even even other legal luminaries that have the people's interest at heart are trying to make it understand as a judicial institution that, look, this man is actually working free. Why is he not here? Instead of you as a court to issue bench warrant against him, and then you keep on shifting and shifting his trial. More importantly, the court should know that this is actually a serious source of frustration to the people that employ them. They should realize that this is a serious source of frustration to the people of Edo State. They should realize that they cannot afford to continue to make the public lose hope and confidence in them as our legal institution. So the fact that Yahaya Bello has not even been confirmed as the candidate flying the flag of APC in the coming election is enough for the judiciary to make sure that before then, this trial must have come to pass, and then if found guilty, appropriate punishment is meted to them. And more importantly, I wish this particular judgment is going to come, and if it is against him, it should be when the APC will not be able to replace him as a candidate, so that they will learn from this kind of this kind of what I would refer to as evil that they are perpetrating on the people of Kogi State.
All right, thank you so much, Vincent. It's always a pleasure to have you join us on each of our shows. So what's one word that you have for our viewers?
Yes, for our viewer out there, I want to say that we have no option than to keep believing that where we are going to, we've definitely arrived there. Nigeria is our own. We should keep on fighting. We should keep on pushing to see that Nigeria get to the promised land.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for joining us.
Thank you, Kasitoni. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure. And to you, our viewers, for watching, do well to have a beautiful day.